Hi, Analisa 6 here from the Sober Curator and Lady of Leisure to give you the May 2023 horoscope for the sun and rising of the sun and rising sign of Pisces. The sign of Pisces, sun and rising. I'm tired. You're the last sign. By the time I get to you, I am wiped out. I'm so sorry. Maybe one of these times I should try uploading them in reverse. I'll start with you first, and then we'll go backwards and end with Aries. It's just hard for me. I'm like one of those people where it just makes sense to like move in the flow of first to last in that way. How are you, Pisces? It's been an intense time. We've got a lot going on. We started May out with Mercury retrograde. We're still in it today. It's May 6th today that I'm recording this video. And so we'll just kind of get right into what's been happening for you, Pisces, sun or rising placements. So the thing about Taurus energy is Taurus energy and Pisces energy actually flow pretty well together. Taurus makes what's called a sextile to Pisces, which is a harmonious aspect. So if you feel like Taurus season is a time of year where you find a lot of emotional fulfillment in certain ways, that's supported, that's something that's congruent for this time of year, for Pisces and Taurus to kind of be amplified in a positive way. Mercury retrograde, this kind of transit has been happening through the area of the Pisces horoscope chart that does have to do with communication. So your communication has definitely been impacted in a difficult, challenging way with this Mercury retrograde. So if you feel like this Mercury retrograde has been the most stereotypical Mercury retrograde, that would be why, because it's happening in that area of the chart. That Mercury traditionally rules. We have a lot of energy in Taurus today. We have the North Node, Mercury, Vesta, the Sun, and Uranus all in Taurus. And at the beginning of May, on the 2nd, we had a cazimi where Mercury and the Sun made a conjunction in the sky. That's called a cazimi when that happens. And so it may started out a little bit more discombobulated than maybe past years, where it's just like, okay, this is a lot, there's a lot of discrepancies, a lot of communication discrepancies, and just things feeling dysregulated. But because that energy is still making a harmonious aspect to Pisces, that maybe there was some resolution that happened more quickly, or it wasn't quite as bad as it could have been. It's also dependent on your personal birth chart. So again, this is very general, having it be a horoscope. Another thing that we entered this year, in March, that's happening is that Saturn is in Pisces. So Saturn plays a big role in your life right now, having it pass through your sign. We're not going to talk too much about that because it's not as it's not the way that I'm talking about the horoscope, but it is impacting your ability to feel confident in how you express yourself. And you might be feeling kind of like there's a new sense of self that's being born over the next couple of years while Saturn is passing through your sign. It also amplifies our ability to really imagine a new way and want to create something new out of the imaginal realm, which Pisces, you already do very, very well, but Saturn's here kind of amplifying that. Saturn also can lend itself towards consequences from substance abuse. So if you're somebody in recovery and you're thinking about trying to get back into drinking or something like that, that is not good for you, especially now, because you can be more prone to depression right now with some of this stuff. So, if you are in recovery and you're navigating some of those things with this Mercury retrograde and how you're going to develop healthier coping mechanisms and connect to your spirituality in a more active way. Those are definitely themes that come up for the Pisces individual during this time. So the eclipse that we had also impacted the area of communication for you, and also your beliefs and values. And so if you've been working through these themes of what is my value system, what is my belief system, am I in alignment with that? Do I, have the same values that I had 10 years ago? And how do I evolve and express kind of more of what I'm moving towards now? Those are themes that came up during the eclipse. It's really positive for you to be learning and educating yourself through people that are wise in the ways that you want to seek wisdom. The Scorpio full moon makes a trine to Pisces because water trines water. And so it was probably a very emotional time for you while you were reflecting on the past or things that you've been through in the past. And you might have had a lot of deep reflections around your past and past things that you've learned or been through and how that's evolving and changing now. Eclipses, we feel the ripple effects over a few months. And so you might be kind of in this bubble of still working through a lot of the stuff that came up for you yesterday. That eclipse hit yesterday, which was May 5th. We're about to start shifting into some new energy this month. So Venus has been in Gemini, and the area that's been impacting the horoscope chart for Pisces was home and family. And it's a blessing when it's passing through this area. So we might feel more introverted. We might feel more inclined to really want to beautify our home. Venus, rules relationships and beautification. And so when it's passing through the home, we might feel like we really want to connect with our family or people that we live with. We also might feel like we want to alter or change our living area and make it more appealing or beautiful to us in an aesthetic way. It's also really good for healing things with our family members or people that we live with. And so Venus is actually going to be leaving that area tomorrow, May 7th, and she's going to be passing into Cancer, where we've actually had Mars in Cancer since the end of March. And so Mars has already been passing through this area, but Venus is about to join the party. And the area of the chart that this is hitting for Pisces is the area that rules creative self-expression, romance, and our inner child, and the way that we connect to our inner child. When Mars is here, we might be experiencing some conflict around how we feel when it comes to our self-expression. However, Mars makes a harmonious aspect to Pisces. And so you might also be feeling incredibly inspired to share and express yourself more actively in your life. And you might be feeling like kind of this revved up energy of creative energy. And if you're not feeling that revved upness, but you're feeling some kind of pressure to want to do that, you can thank Mars for that. Mars is kind of like, hey, let's do this. Let's find a way to be creative. Let's find a way to express ourselves. Let's find a way to connect to our inner child and heal any wounds around how we creatively express ourselves. So again, creativity is very much highlighted right now with Mars passing through that area. Self-expression's highlighted. And when Venus enters this area, if we have been feeling any tension from Mars, Venus is going to come in and ease that tension. She's going to come in and kind of make us go, oh, this is how I want to do this, or, oh, this is what brings me joy, or this is what's fun. And so Venus will be here for the rest of May, starting tomorrow, and it should be helpful and harmonious. This is also a good placement for fertility, connecting with children, and healing inner child kind of wounds around self-expression or creativity. And again, water likes water. And so Venus, will be trining Pisces energy, which is really great for your sense of self, your identity, and wanting to actively explore who you are in a way that's nurturing to yourself. What else do we have going on after that? So after that, on the 14th, so about a week from tomorrow in the evening, Mercury is finally going to be stationing direct. And then we'll have a bit of a shadow period for about a week before it, kind of moves on with itself. So, hopefully if you have been having any communication discrepancies with people, or things have just been kind of wonky, you start to feel that ease or release by the 21st. And then a few days after Mercury stations direct in Taurus, Jupiter enters Taurus around the 17th. And so Jupiter is going to be entering that area of communication for you. And so again, this is really positive for expanding and growing your perspectives, the way you communicate. You might learn kind of some more constructive ways of getting your needs met through communication, and just connecting with other people. So that's also going to be there for the next year, Jupiter in the horoscope chart. So there's an amplification of growth around how we're learning and the perspectives that we have about the world and our immediate circles. After Jupiter enters Taurus, we're going to have a new moon in Taurus. And so again, at 19 degrees of on May 19th, we're going to have a new moon at 28 degrees of Taurus. And the new moon is great for setting intentions around how you want to communicate effectively in your life. And so, this is the area that rules our, dialogue, and it's also the area that rules writing. And so if creative writing is something that you like to do, this is a really positive time for setting intentions with how you want to go about expressing yourself in that way. It's great for art. If you're a Pisces, it's very artistic. If you like to write songs, poems, that kind of stuff, there's definitely an amplification of energy here. And if it's something that you really want to take to the next level, this new moon is great for setting intentions around those things. So manifest some of that stuff into your life. After the new moon, we have the sun on the 21st is going to be moving into Gemini, and then Mars is going to be moving into Leo as well. And so another big shift of energy happening. And so we'll be entering Gemini season, and the area that highlights for you again is your home and family. And so it brings a lot of positive energy to that area. It shines a big light there. And so if you end up wanting to spend a lot of time at home or with family, that is very much supported during Gemini season. And then Mars in Leo is going to be entering the area of your health. And Mars, when it's passing through the area of health, is not usually a good thing. It usually will bring some health challenges up for us and something that we have to work through. Leo rules the heart and the spine. And so if Leo is in this area of the chart, it usually will bring awareness to our heart health or our spine health. And so while Mars is passing through Leo, for the Pisces horoscope, it's really beneficial for you to make sure you're doing good things for your back, your spine, and your heart, and making sure that you're eating well. Maybe you need to go to the chiropractor, or maybe you need to get your blood pressure checked and make sure your heart's doing okay. Those types of things. And so, Venus will be entering that area in June to kind of help bring some positivity and some ease there, but it's still, with Mars there, we're more susceptible to the consequences of some of like poor choices around that stuff. So you just want to be mindful and careful with that. And Mars here could be good for setting some new routines up. This is the area that rules daily routines. And so when Mars is passing through this area, we might be in a position where we're ready to kind of make some new structures in our day. And, again, like if our heart health or our back health is coming up, that's also positive, around setting up some new routines in your day that help you focus on your cardio or your, flexibility or your stability. I think that a lot of times with our spine, we need more stability kind of things than necessarily flexibility things. But those are all things that are kind of good for you to prioritize and focus over the last part of May. There are a lot of other transits that are happening throughout May that are hitting Pisces energy directly because of Neptune and Saturn here. And we also have stuff with the Venus and Cancer energy. So we're going to be having a lot of energy that makes sextiles and trines to Pisces and Cancer placements, and those energies are really positive for you when it comes to your creative expression and artistic expression. So, I go into those transits a little bit more in depth in a more neutral way in the May 2023 astrology forecast, which is the first video in this playlist. So if you want those exact transits and what days they're hitting, I recommend that you go back and listen to that one. But the area that it's hitting for Pisces, it amplifies your inspiration and creative energy. And so it's such a great time for artists, creatives, writers, all that kind of stuff is really supported and amplified for you in the month of May. And so if you're really feeling that creative inspiration and you're really wanting to do something with it, May is the month to get going on it. Of course, the Mercury retrograde window is lasting for a while, and so you're going to feel more momentum probably towards the end of the month than the start of the month or the middle of the month. But hopefully by the 21st, as everything's kind of shifting more in that direction, you're going to feel this amplification of like, wow, I'm feeling really creative, I'm feeling really inspired, I really want to get in touch with my spiritual side and my artistic side and do these things, whether it's through music or actual art or creative writing, or even just like through kind of spiritual modalities. Like all of that is super, super supported for Pisces in the month of May. All right, Pisces, I'm excited for you. I think May is actually going to be a pretty positive month for you compared to the other signs. And, if you're experiencing some of those communication challenges, just remember it's temporary. Everything's going to be all right. If you enjoyed your horoscope, let me know in the comments, hit the like button. If you want notifications on when I post these videos, hit subscribe, and you can find me at ladyofleosure.com, thesobercurator.com, and the @ with those on Instagram. All right, I'll see you next month.